Welcome to IAS Academy. Prior to the 2022 preliminary exam, we will cover 15 previous year MCQs daily in a video. That is a total of 2500 plus MCQs before the exam. So let's start the session. Our first question is, which one of the following statements regarding Ashoka stone pillars is incorrect? Option A, these are highly polished. Option B, these are monolithic. Option C, the shaft of pillars is tapering in shape. Option D, these are parts of architectural structures. Here answer to this question is option D, these are parts of architectural structures. Ashoka stone pillars were meant to spread his dharma. These are not part of architectural structures. Pillars of Ashoka are a series of columns dispersed throughout the Indian subcontinent, erected or at least inscribed with his edicts by Mauryan Emperor Ashoka during his reign. The pillars are among the earliest known stone sculptural remains from India and was tangible evidence of Buddhism. James Prinsep, a British antiquary and colonial administrator, was the first person to decipher Ashoka's edicts. They were kept in public places and along trade routes so that the maximum number of people would read them. More than religious discourses, they talk about moral duties of the people. There are 33 inscriptions in total and are primarily classified into major rock edicts, minor rock edicts, separate rock edicts, and major pillar edicts and minor pillar edicts. Question number 2. Assertion statement A. The sponsor and the most prominent figure of the Chishti order of Sufis in India is Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti. Reason statement 2. The Chishti order takes its name from a village Chishti in Ajmer. In the context of the above two statements, which of the following is correct? Here answer to this question is option C. Assertion statement is true, but reason statement is false. The Chishti order is a Sufi order within the mystic branches of Islam, which was founded in Chishti, a small town near Herat, Afghanistan. The order was founded by Abu Ishaq Shami. The most famous of the Chishti saints is Moinuddin Chishti, popularly known as Garib Nawaz, meaning benefactor of the poor, who settled in Ajmer, introduced the Chishti order in India, that is in Ajmer, Rajasthan. So, first statement is correct, but the recent statement is incorrect because Chishti is a small village in Afghanistan. Question number 3. B.R. Ambedkar was elected to the Constituent Assembly from option A West Bengal, option B Bombay Presidency, option C Madhya Bharat, option D Punjab. Here answer to this question is option A West Bengal. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was a resident of Bombay Presidency. Ambedkar contested in the Bombay North First Indian General Election of 1952 but lost to his previous associate and Congress Party contender. Then later he was elected to Constituent Assembly from West Bengal. So here answer to this question is option A West Bengal. Question number 4. The paintings of Abanindranath Tagore are classified as options are realistic, socialistic, revivalistic and impressionistic. Here answer to this question is option C revivalistic. The revivalist art was deeply influenced by glorious past and heritage of India by its great epics and its transcendental philosophy, by Ajanta and Mughal Rajput miniature paintings. Abanindranath Tagore is known as the leader of revivalist movement in field of modern Indian painting in Bengal. He first created the Indian Society of Oriental Art and later went on to establish Bengal School of Art. He believed that Indian art and its art form gave importance to spirituality as opposed to West, which stressed on materialism, thus rejecting it. His idea of modernizing Mughal and Rajput paintings eventually gave rise to modern Indian painting. Question number 5. The rough outline map shows a portion of Middle East countries. The countries labeled A, B, C and D are respectively option A Syria, Iraq, Jordan and Saudi Arabia. Option B Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Option C Iraq, Syria, Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Option D Iraq, Syria, Jordan and Saudi Arabia. Here answer to this question is option C Iraq, Syria, Saudi Arabia and Jordan. The Euphrates is the longest and one of the most historically important rivers of Western Asia. Together with the Tigris, it is one of the two defining rivers of Mesopotamia. Originating in Turkey, the Euphrates flows through Syria and Iraq. So here answer to this question is option C, Iraq, Syria, Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Question number 6. Physicochemical characteristics of water in water sources undergo changes due to option A aquatic macrophytes, option B aquatic fungi, option C effluents, option D evapotranspiration. Here answer to this question is option C effluents. Aquatic macrophytes, aquatic fungi are natural organisms and evapotranspiration is a natural process by which plant loses water for thermoregulation. Thus, being natural, they do not result into any change in physicochemical characteristics of water, while effluents discharged into water bodies by industrial unit and domestic sewage result into change in physicochemical characteristics like pH, temperature, electrical conductivity, dissolved oxygen, biochemical oxygen demand, etc. So here answer to this question is option C, effluents. Question number 7. The scientific view is that the increase in global temperature should not exceed 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level. If the global temperature increases beyond 3 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level, what can be its possible impact or impacts on the world? Option 1. Terrestrial biosphere tends towards a net carbon source. Option 2. Widespread coral mortality will occur. Option 3. All the global wetlands will permanently disappear. Option 4. Cultivation of cereals will not be possible anywhere in the world. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option B. Statement 1 and 2 are correct. Taiga and temperate forest act as carbon storehouse. The temperate rainforest is a carbon storage powerhouse. So if the global temperature increases beyond 3 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level, then terrestrial biosphere tends towards a net carbon. So the first statement is correct. Coral reefs are under relentless stress from global and local issues, including climate change, declining water quality, overfishing, pollution, and unsustainable coastal development source. So if the temperature rises, widespread coral mortality will occur. So the statement number 2 is also correct. Temperate zones are where widest seasonal changes occur. So temperate regions can still survive if the temperature rises. So the statement 3 is incorrect. The weather should be warm and moist during the early stage of growth of cereals. So cultivation of cereals will be possible if the temperature rises. So statement 4 is also incorrect. So here answer to this question is option B, statement 1 and 2 are correct. Question number 8. According to the Constitution of India, the term district judge shall not include option A, chief presidency magistrate, option B, sessions judges, option C, tribunal judge, option D, chief judge of a small court. Here answer to this question is option C, tribunal judge. District judge is a judicial officer appointed by High Court in consultation with the state government that works regularly on that post. It includes session judge, chief presidency magistrate, and judges of small courts existed earlier. The tribunals are created by the statute and for a special purpose to deal with a particular type of judges. The constitution of the tribunal, nature, extent, and scope is determined by the legislator, and hence the presiding officer of the tribunal is not included within the meaning of district judge. So here answer to this question is option C, tribunal judge. Question number 9. Match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option C. The Rashtriya Mahila Kosh was set up in 1993 to provide microcredit to poor women for various livelihood support and income generating activities. So here Rashtriya Mahila Kosh joins with meeting credits need for poor women. The Mahila Samriddhi Yojana was launched on 2nd October 1993 is a government scheme aimed to benefit the women entrepreneurs from backward or poor backgrounds. It gives the women entrepreneurs the chance to be self-reliant. So here Mahila Samriddhi Yojana joins with promotion of savings among rural women. The Indira Mahila Yojana was launched on 20 August 1995, aims at organizing at the grassroots level to facilitate women participation in decision making and their empowerment. So here Indira Mahila Yojana joins with empowerment of women. Mahila Samakhya program was launched in 1988 to pursue the objectives of the national policy on education. It recognized that education can be an effective tool for women in empowerment. So here Mahila Samakhya program joins with education for women's equality. So here best answer is option C. Question number 10. With reference to union budget, which of the following is covered under non-plan expenditure? Option 1, defense expenditure. Option 2, interest payments. Option 3, salaries and pensions. Option 4, subsidies. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is all the above. Non-plan expenditure constitute the dominant portion of budget expenditure. These expenses are spread across defense, interest payments for debts, subsidies and salaries and pensions of employees in various government services. So here answer to this question is option D, all the above. Question number 11. Consider the following statements. A person in a spaceship located halfway between the earth and the sun will notice that option 1, Sky is jet black. That is correct. Option 2, stars do not twinkle. That is correct. Option 3, temperature outside the spaceship is much higher than that on the surface of the Earth. That is also correct. So here answer to this question is option D. Statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. As the light travels through many layers of the Earth's atmosphere, the light of the star is then refracted many times in random directions. This random refraction results in stars are twinkling when looking from Earth. But for a person in spaceship, no such refractions are possible as there is vacuum in space. The star will not twinkle in spaceship. Similarly, sky will appear blue to us due to Rayleigh scattering. This is again due to presence of atmosphere on Earth's surface. Whereas no atmosphere is there in space, thus no absorbing and scattering is possible. That is why for a person in spaceship, sky appears black. Temperature outside the spaceship is higher in comparison to Earth's atmosphere because of being nearer to sun. So here answer to this question is option D. Statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Question number 12. Consider the following statement. Coke is one of the materials of the charge added to blast furnace for the production of steel. Its function is to option 1 act as reducing agent. That is correct. Option 2 remove silica associated with the iron ore. That is incorrect. Option 3 function as fuel to supply heat. That is correct. Option 4 act as an oxidizing agent. That is incorrect. So here answer to this question is option C. 1 and 3 are correct. Coke is added in blast furnace along with iron ore. Coke being derived from fossil fuel by destructive distillation. Thus it contains high percentage of carbon and have high calorific value. That's why its function as fuel to supply heat. Coke also act as reducing agent and reduce metal oxide to metal. And silica present as impurity is removed with the help of quicklime. So statement 3 and 4 are incorrect. Question number 13. It is possible to produce seedless tomato fruits by option A. Applying trace elements into tomato fruits. Option B. Spraying mineral solution on plants. Option C. Spraying hormones on flowers. Option D. Applying fertilizers containing radioactive element. So here answer to this question is option C. Spraying hormones on flowers. Seedless tomato fruits can be grown without fertilization if the plant growth hormone is sprayed on them. This will result in their parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy refers to the development of fruit without fertilization. This is the technique of induced parthenocarpy where the vegetables are sprayed with plant growth regulators. So here answer to this question is option C. Spraying hormones on flowers leads to seedless tomato fruits. Question number 14. Which one of the following reflects back more sunlight as compared to the other three? Option A. Sand desert. Option B. Paddy crop. Option C. Land covered with fresh snow. Option D. Prairie land. Here answer to this question is option C. Land covered with fresh snow. Snow's albedo is the highest. That is, snow and ice have the highest albedos of any parts of the Earth's surface. Land covered with fresh snow reflects back more sunlight as compared to the other three. Fresh snow and ice reflects 80 to 85% of the sunlight. Therefore, the skin of skiers is irradiated by sunlight from all sides. Since the snow does not take up the light but reflects it and remains cold. Scientists give a name to this ability of surface to reflect light called albedo. So the snow's albedo is the highest. So here answer to this question is option C. Land covered with fresh snow. Question number 15. With reference to Stree Shakti Puraskar, for which one of the following is Devi Ahalyabai Holkar award is given? Option A. Administrative skills. Option B. Achievements in scientific research. Option C. Achievements in sports and games. Option D. Courage and valor. Here answer to this question is option A. Administrative skills. Devi Ahalyabai Holkar award is given for best private sector organization or best public sector undertaking in promoting the well-being and welfare of women. Named after Ahalyabai Holkar, an 18th century ruler of Malwa Kingdom. So here answer to this question is option A. Administrative skills. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. We will continue with the next set tomorrow.